Hello, everyone. Thank you for joining. Thank you for coming to my channel, Shave in Solitude. Today, I thought I'll do a little bit of a different kind of a video. Now, for many of you who've been in this particular shaving hobby, you would have heard of Maggard Razors, right? Maggard has been there in the market for a really, really long time. They're very, very well known. Maggard also goes ahead and has a yearly meetup, which many of you guys may want to go to but don't get a chance to. I have also not had a chance to go over there. But I do end up seeing a lot of videos for people who do uh, make that trip once a year. So when I started off my journey into this particular hobby, one of the first sites that I visited to go and pick up gear was their site. Now, the Maggard site is very, very decent, very, very well designed. I will take a moment and I'll show you on my PC how the site is set up. But one of the first things that I did when I started this journey is go onto their site. So Maggard, as you guys might know, they sell products from all over the world, right? I mean, you talk about any kind of company, uh, chances are that they go ahead and they have their stuff. But apart from that, what you guys may or may not know is Maggard has their own line as well. And I'm not talking about shaving creams and soaps and splashes. I'm talking about razors. So what I did last year when I started off this journey early of last year is I went ahead and I picked up 4 razor heads from them. So my review today is going to be focused on a couple of things. In case if you're starting off in this journey and you want to sample different type of heads, because that is what we'd like to do, right? This is something for us where we want to go ahead and dip our toes in. So I want to show you on their website where is it that you can find these heads. I also wanted to talk about some numbers in terms of how much does it cost if you were to buy these razors separately. How much would it cost? The fact that you can pick up this 4-pack of the razor heads, what's the value that you get? And then finally, I wanted to shave with all the 4 of them, just give you my flavor of what I think, how good or bad these are. So stick around with me. Let's go to the Maggard website right now. Okay, so now we are on the Maggard website. The website is very simple, maggardrazors.com. This is what you see as soon as you log in. So if you were to be searching for safety razors, you will click on this right here. Now once you are in this particular page, what you can do is you can directly go into brand and then you can select Maggard Razors. As soon as you select this, what you can do is you'll see these head bundle packages right here. So the one that I would ask you to select, in case if you want 4 heads, if you want less than that, you can obviously choose these. But if you click on this, then what it does is it gives you a choice of different heads. So you will need to select which head you want. So let's just select a few. Okay. So let's do that. I want a black finish standard. So I'll say continue. Then I will say I want a black finish aggressive. I'll say continue. Then I'll say I want a chrome open comb. So I'll click on this. And then let's say I want to try a slant razor. So then I'll do, give me a gray finish slant. Continue, and then you say add to cart. So once this happens, it goes ahead and it adds all of them and it shows what your overall total is. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to move into a spreadsheet to show you guys how this looks. So as you saw, your forehead pack, it starts from 43.52. Handles, if you were to go ahead and build out actually 4 separate razors, every handle costs $20, so you need 4 of them. So your overall cost will be 123.52 or approximately around $31 per razor. So how much are you actually saving? So each one of the heads, if you were to buy them separately, they cost $13.95. So the cost of 4 heads would be around $56. That means your overall saving is 12.28, or which is in terms of a percentage, 22% saving. Now what many people might do is, handles, you don't need to buy 4 of them. You can just buy one and you can use all the 4 heads. So you can possibly build a package which is 43.52 plus $20 for one handle. So your overall cost comes to 63.52, and each razor then works out. I mean, obviously you're not getting 4 separate razors, but you know what I'm saying. 15.88. So I think this is a good starting point in case people just want to go ahead and get used to different type of razor heads. Whether it's closed or it's open, it's mild, it's not mild, it's slant. So this gives you that particular flavor of going ahead and checking out different type of razor heads when you're getting into the shaving hobby. And after you like what you see is when you can possibly think of buying better razors, like stainless steel, CNC stainless steel and stuff like that, which obviously is going to cost you a lot more than what you see over here. So these are the 4 heads which I had picked up right here when I picked this up at the starting of 2024. And these are the 2 handles which I picked up. As well, as time has gone by, I've picked up more handles as well. So in the next part of the video, I'm going to shave with all these 4 heads. We will start with this one, which is the standard plate, then we'll move on to this one, then this will be the 3rd one, and finally we'll finish with the slant. So let's quickly roll into that part of the video, and then I can share with you my thoughts of how good or bad I think this 4 razor head pack is, and probably some of the things that you need to keep in mind when you're buying this. Alright, let's get this shave started now. So I showed you all the 4 razor heads that I have. Now what I did through this week, just to again remember how these razors shave, is I shaved with each one of these razors one day of the week. So I haven't shaved for around 3 days, as you guys can see. So for each of the razors, what I went ahead and I did was I put a brand new Persona Platinum blade, and I did that one brand new blade for each one of them because I wanted everything to be the same. The other thing which I went ahead and I did was use the same soap base. So Barrister and Man is what I used throughout the week. I have a bunch of their samples, and I went ahead and picked on one sample each day. So what we're going to do right now is we're going to quickly lather up. I'll be back with you once I've lathered up, and then let's start with the shaves. I'll take you through each razor that I am shaving with, and then at the end of all 4, I'll share some thoughts that I have with you. Alright guys, we have lathered up. Now the way that we're going to do this particular segment of me using all the 4 razor heads is, I'm going to show you which razor head I'm going to use. I'm going to put the thing at the bottom in terms of what this particular razor head is. And then what I want you to do is, I want you to just listen to how it shaves, especially how it shaves when I'm using one side and then I just flip the razor and I use the second side. I just want you to listen, and at the end of the video, you'll know why is it that I was telling you to listen. So let's get started. So this is the first one. This is the standard plate. I hope you heard when I shaved with one side, it sounded in one way. When I shaved with the second side, it sounded in a different way. Now let me move on to the second razor. Alright guys, this is the second razor. Again, if you heard, there is a little bit of a difference when I shaved with the first side versus me shaving with the second side. Alright, now we are moving on to the next razor. Again, just listen. Finally, we are moving to the slant razor. Again, as you heard, the first side had a lot more sound, the second side did not. So here is where my problem is. Now I remember this when I bought this last year. I shaved with them just a couple of times and I didn't like it and I stopped shaving with them. And I kind of forgot over this period of time why is it that I did that. So when I went back this week and I started shaving with them again, I remembered what the problem was. The problem was that each one of these heads, now it may be a little difficult for you to see, but I'll try and still show it to you. The blade exposure on both of the sides of the razor is not uniform. And out of all the 4 razors that I showed, open comb, the one that I have, that seems to be the best one. The variance in this is minimal. But at least for myself, I could feel that for all the rest of the 3 razors, for me at least, it was quite significant, so much so that I could feel the difference. So then what does this mean? So give me a few moments. Let me finish the shave of the camera. I will come back and then I'll share with you what I think one should do. So guys, we are done with the shave. Let's go back to the study and let's think about what we just saw and heard. And I will share with you my final thoughts. So we all saw and heard what I had felt when I had shaved with these razor heads almost a year back. That yes, there is definitely a difference between both sides of the razor. One side is milder than the second one, and which is why I had stopped shaving with these. So now what do we go ahead, what do we do about it? So the very first thing which I had done, just so that you guys know, is that I reached out to Brad Maggard and I shared with him what I shared with you guys. And Brad was very gracious, very candid, and he shared a couple of things with me. Now, obviously, to arrive at this particular price point, these are not machined in CNC and stainless steel and all that. It's a simple zinc alloy, right? So he said that the tolerances on a zinc alloy head are not as great as if one were to, machine this in CNC and all that. And I completely get it. And those cost a lot more. The second thing that he shared was he sold, not sharing the sales numbers, but he sold a lot of these heads over the last 1 year. And very few, maybe 1 or 2 cases, they have requested for it to be replaced. Number 3 is something that he brought up, is he felt that, probably most people are completely okay with it. And I think that is what the case is over here, where many people don't even understand or realize the difference between both the sides of the same razor head as they are shaving it. Now, Brad did also go ahead and mention that if he was to take a caliper and, measure other zinc alloy heads, he might see a similar variance. I'm not sure about that, because I've got some other razor heads made of zinc alloy, and I have not seen the amount of difference that I've seen in these heads. So what do we go ahead and do about it? So I think that comment that Brad made, where he's talking about most people don't even realize it, probably it is true. People who take shaving extremely seriously, I'm hoping you're one of them because you're watching this video. We are very much in tune with how a razor feels, how each side of a razor feels, so on and so forth. And probably we'll be able to go ahead and pick up on it. The other thing, the way that I end up using these razor heads now is, after the first pass, I know which one cuts a little closer and which one is a little milder. So what I can do is, my first and second pass, I can go a little closer, and my third pass, I can go a little milder. So I use the razor in that particular way. Obviously, what that means is that the wear on the blade will not be uniform, because you'll end up using one side slightly more than the other. But given how much these blades cost, anyway, you're going to toss them after 2 or 3 shaves, right? So I think that'll be fine. But for somebody who is looking at buying these razor heads because of the tremendous value, right? Let's not forget about the value that I went ahead and I showed you guys at the start of the video. The value is there. The value is definitely there. But having known what I've shown you now, please keep that in mind when you're buying it. Again, you might not even feel it, but if you do, you know that there is a particular value that you've gone ahead and you've paid for, hence it's not perfect. So the way that I look at it is, I don't know if any of you guys are into fragrances and colognes and stuff like that. So the last couple of years, cologne fragrances have become very, very common, right? Where you have an actual fragrance which costs X amount of money. There is some other brand which brings out like a dupe of it, right? Now going into it, you already know that it's a dupe, and you know that the quality is not going to be the same one. But it gives you a flavor of what the real one smells like. So to me, these Maggard razor heads are something like that kind of a clone, where it gives me a feeling of how a slant may be, or different kinds of closed comb or open comb might be. And it gives me that flavor for a very, very cheap price, good value. And then if I like what I see, then I will go ahead and I'll buy some proper razors, like a proper slant razor and stuff like that, because I've already had that flavor. So I won't say stay away from it. I would say you can definitely try. It's a good place to dip your toes. But if you're picking this up when you're absolutely brand new, you should know about this defect, so to speak, if you want to call it, so that you don't buy this and be like, oh my God, what is happening? So now you know that there can be a variance between both sides of the razor, of the same razor head. They're built to a particular cost. They won't cut you up. But as long as you know which sides say shaves in which way, you can probably use it, like I said, to get a closer shave on the first couple of passes and the milder third pass. So that's about it, guys. And Brad, if you're seeing this video, thank you so much. Brad told me that I should go ahead, I should share my findings with you guys. And that I found as a breath of fresh air, because many suppliers, manufacturers would probably not be happy that I'm going to tell the people my thoughts, and they'll be like, no, you're wrong, right? There's one more company that I'd done a review for, where I lost some subscribers because they didn't like what I had to say about the beloved company. And I reached out to their owner, and let's say that the response was mixed. So kudos to Brad. Thank you, Brad, for making these razor heads. Yes, they're not perfect, but they're decent enough. And as long as you know what you may get, I think you can leverage that and still learn how to shave. And then once you have the money, slowly you can buy better razor heads. So that's about it, guys. I hope that the video helped you. Hope you have a great week ahead, and I'll see you again next week. Thanks. Bye.